All right, let's talk about building a productivity routine from scratch. If you've been wanting to finally get a handle on your focus and actually get more done, well, you're in the right place. Let's get right into it. So, let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You're always busy, right? Jumping from one thing to the next. Your calendar's packed, but then you get to the end of the day and you're just like, what did I actually do? That feeling, that busy but not productive feeling, it's super common. And honestly, it's not your fault. It's kind of how our world is set up to just shatter our attention. And the cost of all that shattered attention, it's staggering, really. Get this. Research shows that constantly switching between tasks can cut your productivity by up to 40%. That's huge. It's like losing almost 2 full days of work every single week. So, this isn't about grinding harder, it's about working smarter. So, if we want to win back that lost time, we've got to know what we're up against. And here's a hint. The enemy isn't that you're lazy or don't have enough willpower. Nope. The real enemy is this huge myth we've all been sold about how our brains are supposed to work, a myth that's been framed as a superpower. And that myth is multitasking. Yeah, I know, we all think we're great at it, but the science is crystal clear. Your brain doesn't actually do multiple things at once. It can't. What it's really doing is something called task switching. It's just jumping back and forth really, really fast. And all that jumping around, it costs you big time. This whole thing leads to a really cool, kind of scary concept called attention residue. Think about it. Every time you switch tasks, like you're deep in a report and you just quickly check one email, a little piece of your brain's attention gets left behind. It's still kind of thinking about that report. And here's the kicker. Researchers found it can take, on average, 23 minutes to get back into that deep focus after just one interruption. That's the residue, and it's exactly why you feel so scattered. Okay, so we can all agree multitasking is out. So what's the alternative? Well, it's not about gritting your teeth and just forcing yourself to focus. That's exhausting. The real solution is to make focus automatic. And we can do that by understanding how our brains are literally wired to build habits. We're going to use our own biology to our advantage instead of constantly fighting it. Now check out this wild fact. It sounds completely backward, but stick with me. Newborn babies have way more neurons, brain cells, than we do as adults. So why are adults so much more capable? If babies have more brain power, what's going on? The answer to that little riddle is the key to understanding every single habit you have. It all comes down to something called synaptic pruning. The best way to think about it is that your brain is like a gardener. For the pathways you use all the time, your habits, the brain strengthens those connections. It waters them, gives them sunlight, makes them super strong and efficient. And the pathways you don't use, it just prunes them away. Snip, snip. This is exactly how habits become second nature. It's also why breaking a bad habit is so tough. That connection is like a 6-lane superhighway in your brain. So our job is to start building a new road. So how do we do that? How do we become the gardeners of our own brains? Well, our first tool is so simple, it's brilliant. It's called habit stacking. And honestly, it's probably the fastest way to start paving that new road we just talked about. Here's a great way to picture it. Think of your current habits, the things you do every day without thinking, as a train that's already moving down the tracks, right? Now, starting a totally new habit is like trying to build a whole new train and a new set of tracks from scratch. It's a ton of work. Habit stacking is way smarter. All you do is hook a new car, that's your new habit, onto the train that's already chugging along. And the formula for this is just beautiful in its simplicity. So step 1, pick a habit you already do every single day without fail. Pouring your morning coffee is the classic example. That's your engine, your anchor. Step 2, choose a new, tiny habit you want to start. Then, step 3, you just stack them together with this simple phrase. After I do my current habit, I will do my new habit. So after I pour my coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. See? Your old habit is now the trigger for the new one. It's genius. All right, so habit stacking is awesome for these little individual habits. But what about the big picture? How do you structure your whole day to be focused? This is where we level up. Our second tool is called time blocking. And this is how you go from just adding one good habit to building like an entire fortress to protect your focus. Just look at the difference here. On the left, that's what most of our calendars look like, right? A couple of meetings floating in a sea of empty space. And you know what lives in that empty space? Procrastination, distractions. But now look at the right. That is a time-blocked calendar. Every single hour has a job. You're not just scheduling calls, you're scheduling focus. You are literally telling your time where it needs to go instead of getting to the end of the day and wondering where it all went. Now, quick clarification, because people get this mixed up. Time blocking is about deciding when you'll do something. It's about putting it on the map of your day. There's another technique called time boxing, which is about deciding how long you'll spend on it, like setting a timer. They work great together, for sure, but time blocking is the foundation. It's the architecture for your day. Okay, so let's recap. We've got our two key tools: habit stacking for adding new behaviors, time blocking for structuring the whole day. Now, let's put them together. Let's build a super simple, super actionable playbook that you can literally start using tomorrow. Okay, check this out. Here's a powerful morning routine. First, the habit stack. After I pour my coffee, I will plan my day for just 5 minutes. Super easy. Then, you take what you just planned and immediately time block it. So your calendar says 9 o'clock to 9:05, plan the day. Then right after, 9:05 to 10:30, deep work on my most important thing. You're tackling the big stuff before you even open your email. This simple 1-2 punch guarantees you make progress on what actually matters right at the start of your day.
See, building a productivity routine doesn't have to be this big, complicated thing. It's really just about understanding a little bit about how your own brain works and then using simple tools like habit stacking and time blocking to design a day that actually works for you, not against you. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. What's the very first habit you're going to stack tomorrow morning?